Greetings, time travelers, and welcome back to Animal Time Machine. Prepare yourselves, because today, we're not just going back a few years, but a few million. Imagine a world sculpted by ice, where colossal shaggy titans roamed vast, frozen landscapes. For ages, they were the undisputed rulers of the frosty plains, perfectly adapted, magnificent in their power. But then, after eons of epic survival and dominion, these incredible creatures simply disappeared, not with a bang, but a slow, quiet fade. What truly happened to these Ice Age giants? Stick around, because we're about to uncover their remarkable journey and their silent vanishing act. So where did these magnificent beasts even begin? Their epic journey didn't start in a frosty wonderland like you might imagine. Believe it or not, the mammoth family tree actually sprouted in sunny Africa, alongside their close cousins, the Asian elephants, way back, like 6 to 7 million years ago. For 4 million years, they hung out there, basking in the sun, before deciding, you know what, let's go north. And so, step by step, generation by generation, they began their grand migration, eventually spreading their shaggy dominion across vast stretches of Asia, Europe, and eventually, even North America. It's a truly incredible tale of evolution, showing just how adaptable life can be. Now, for a long time, we thought we knew a lot about mammoths. But then, smarty-pants scientists started digging into their ancient DNA, literally. And boy, did it blow our minds. It turns out the mammoth story is even older and way more complex than we ever imagined. Thanks to these tiny genetic clues pulled from incredibly old bones, we've discovered a hidden diversity stretching back millions of years. We're talking about DNA so old it's shattering records. Imagine recovering genetic blueprints from mammoths that roamed the earth a whopping 1.1 to 1.6 million years ago. These deep time discoveries are like finding ancient family albums, showing us just how many different branches were on the mammoth family tree, way before the famous woolly guys came along. So, as we zoom into the early and middle Pleistocene epochs, that's roughly 2.6 million down to 126,000 years ago, we see these early mammoths making themselves at home in places like Siberia and, surprisingly, even North America. And when we say early, we mean it. For example, scientists found this amazing piece of mammoth DNA in northern Yukon, Canada, that dates back over 200,000 years. This was a woolly mammoth, mind you. This discovery rewrote the history books, proving that woolly mammoths arrived in North America much earlier than previously thought, setting up shop and thriving in those northern reaches for a very, very long time. They were truly pioneers of the frosty frontier. Hold on to your hats, folks. If you thought just getting to the Ice Age was chilly, imagine living there. Picture a world where blizzards were everyday weather, and the freezer aisle was literally the entire landscape. How on earth did these magnificent mammoths not just survive, but absolutely thrive in such a brutally cold environment? The answer lies in their truly incredible adaptations. Let's dive into their survival secrets. First off, their fashion sense was all about warmth. We're talking about a coat that would make any fur-loving fashionista jealous. Not just thick, but incredibly dense, covering their entire body like a cozy walking carpet. Beneath that, they packed on layers of specialized fat, acting as an internal insulation blanket. Scientists, using genetic detective work, have peeked into their DNA, revealing the specific genes behind these amazing traits. They found genetic blueprints linked to super thick hair growth, specialized skin structures, and efficient fat storage and metabolism. These were finely tuned genetic adjustments that made the woolly mammoth the ultimate ice-proof machine, allowing them to laugh in the face of sub-zero winds. Imagine eating a frozen salad. Mammoths were master grazers, their primary menu consisting of tough, abrasive grasses and low-lying vegetation. To handle this, their teeth were incredible. Their molars were like miniature grinding machines, with numerous, tightly packed enamel plates. This created a super efficient shredding surface. Even cooler, the enamel itself was thinner than in other elephants. This made their teeth wear down in a way that kept the grinding surface rough and effective, perfectly suited for constantly munching on gritty plants from the frozen steppe. A dental masterpiece, ensuring they always got their fill. Their adaptations went beyond fur and teeth. Mammoths had truly wild internal clocks. Scientists found fascinating changes in their genes related to circadian rhythms, helping them manage daily routines in places with wildly fluctuating daylight, endless summer days, and seemingly endless winter nights. These genetic tweaks were crucial for adjusting to the Arctic's extreme light cycles. For keeping warm, notice how tiny a mammoth's ears were. Compared to modern elephants, their ears were remarkably small, minimizing heat loss. Less surface area, less heat escaping. What's more, these giants weren't solitary. Just like elephants today, mammoths were highly social animals, living in herds that provided protection, shared knowledge, and comfort in their challenging icy world. They truly understood the power of sticking together. So, when you put it all together, the supersuit fur, the internal heating system, the industrial strength teeth, the time-bending genes, the tiny ears, and their strong family bonds, you get an animal that wasn't just surviving the Ice Age. They were actively shaping it. These magnificent creatures were the ultimate ecological engineers of the Ice Age, perfectly adapted to their frosty domain and leaving an undeniable mark on the landscape. Truly amazing, isn't it? Imagine the mammoths ruling the frosty plains, perfectly adapted to their chilly kingdom. But their greatest challenge wasn't the ice, the blizzards, or even the hungry saber-toothed cats. Oh no, a new kid arrived on the block, a scrawny-looking biped with big brains and even bigger ambitions, us, humans. Now, it wasn't exactly a friendly meet and greet. For thousands of years, ancient humans looked at a mammoth and saw a giant walking supermarket. These magnificent animals provided meat for food, hides for warmth and shelter, and massive bones for tools and building materials. Archaeological digs around the globe have uncovered some wild evidence of this intense relationship. We're talking about mammoth ivory sharpened into deadly spears, as found at sites like Kostinki in Russia or Dolny Vestonis in the Czech Republic, and even massive mammoth traps, like the amazing network of pits found in Tultepec, Mexico, which captured dozens of these colossal creatures. It's like they dug gigantic freezer holes, just waiting for dinner to fall in. Pretty clever, right? But mammoths weren't just a food source or a hardware store for ancient humans. They were woven deeply into the fabric of early human culture and spirituality. Imagine sitting around a fire, listening to elders tell tales of these ice giants. We found evidence of this everywhere, from ancient myths in North America that spoke of colossal underground beasts, often associated with powerful spirits, to stunning cave paintings in Europe depicting mammoths with incredible detail and lifelike motion. These were not just animals, they were figures of awe, mystery, and deep reverence, inspiring some of the earliest and most beautiful art known to humankind. It's truly fascinating to see how they captured the imaginations of our ancestors, becoming integral to their worldview. So this wasn't a simple predator-prey dynamic. It was a complex, multi-layered relationship of dependency and conflict. Humans relied heavily on mammoths for survival, and in turn, their actions profoundly shaped the mammoth's existence. This intertwined story, played out over millennia, ultimately impacted both our human ancestors' way of life and the eventual fate of these incredible Ice Age giants. It's a powerful reminder of how deeply connected species can be, even across vast stretches of time. And then, after ruling the Ice Age for eons, the mammoth's incredible saga reached its quiet, almost whispered end. No roaring finale, just a slow, silent fade into the annals of time. So, what happened? Was it a single dramatic event? Not really. Scientists have thrown around a few fascinating ideas, and it's probably a mix of everything. Think of it like this. The the climate started getting warmer and wetter, slowly turning their beloved icy grasslands into soggy, dense forests that were tough for giant grazers to navigate. Imagine trying to run a marathon in ankle-deep mud. Then there's us, humans, with our growing hunting skills, putting more and more pressure on these already struggling populations. And finally, as their numbers dwindled, a silent, unseen enemy emerged: genetic decline. Smaller populations mean less genetic diversity, making them less adaptable and more vulnerable to diseases or sudden environmental shifts. It was a perfect storm, really. For a while, small groups of mammoths found isolated sanctuaries. Picture it: tiny, remote islands like Wrangel Island off the coast of Siberia and St. Paul Island in Alaska. These pockets of survival were like last-ditch efforts, holding onto their frosty world a little longer than their mainland relatives. On St. Paul Island, for instance, the very last mammoths faded away around 5,700 years ago. That's right, they were still around when ancient Egyptians were building pyramids, but even these remote havens couldn't protect them forever. Ultimately, the relentless forces of environmental change and genetic vulnerability caught up, and these last giants of the Ice Age simply vanished. Looking back at the incredible journey of the woolly mammoth, it's clear these magnificent creatures weren't just Ice Age giants. Their story, spanning millions of years, gives us a powerful lesson in adaptation, incredible resilience, and ultimately, the delicate fragility of life itself. Even though they vanished, their legacy continues to inspire us and serves as a vital reminder about the immense importance of biodiversity conservation today. Before you go, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure through time.